living in the reservation, they don't really know the outside of where we came from. My grandma ate this walking child, her dad was Jim Gopher. And Jim Gopher was Ojibwe. He spoke both Cree and Ojibwe.
Yeah.
And his wife was Rocky.
She's sitting underneath that one.
But I'll go all the way to start at the beginning rather than work my way back from this point to then. Anishinaabe is both Cree and Ojibwe. Remember that. The word Chippewa made that word, and I'll show you. In the 1300s, we were the furthest living Ojibways on the Rocky Mountain front. In other words, we weren't making our way back. We were making our way back here, but this is where we started. And the reference points of these stories come directly from my grandparents, Dave Gopher, and everybody else. So it makes a lot of sense to me. But when the Ojibways went out to the east coast from the Rocky Mountain front, this was sacred and holy ground. From the Sweetgrass Mountains, all the way to the mountain of Seaks, all the way down to the Snowy Mountains, across to the Yellowstone, down to the Beaver Head, and all the way up. Can you imagine what I'm describing? And this was considered holy land. Tribes didn't fight in this area. In fact, they came and hunted. And tribes met other tribes. And they intermarried. And when they intermarried, if the woman was there, this is our traditional way, had to go live with that tribe she married. If the woman married into a tribe on this side, they were adopted in and their children were adopted. They were told that they were that tribe. But anyway, that describes the area and its function. So we left here in the 1300s. We went all the way to the east coast. They call that the Great Migration. And we were curious about Mooniao. So we stayed with the Potawatomis. We're talking a few hundred years. We're talking 6, 7 generations, even 8 generations ago. And we helped them. We fought in the revolution against England. That's why we have that flag in the table. That flag is older than this country, 1776. That's proof right there. Give it to Iontois. Iontois had 10 wives. And our bands that are our people are Red Lake, White Earth, Turtle Mountain, Rocky Mountain House, and here up north, Cochin, Soto. The last Ojibwe Soto speaking native was Clara Mile. She's the only one that language is gone. Well, anyway, after we fought out there, we were considered part of the Miami tribe. The Miami tribe was a tribe that helped this government and worked with this government. There were different other natives, the Arapahoes, other tribes. So after the revolution, they started annihilating Native Americans. Literally. They were wiping us out. There wasn't very many of them when they started migrating back. This way. We had had a treaty that ceded land from Pennsylvania all the way to the Rocky Mountains. There's, in the revolution against England, France helped win that revolution. And the guy's name is called Jean-Baptiste. So when you look at the Road Cloud Road, and a lot of you don't know what the Road Cloud Road is, there was an agreement with the Louisiana purchase that once this was done, they would treat Jean-Claude Baptiste's people, because he married a lot of different, had kids all over, you know, they were trading close of Winnipeg, moving over into British Columbia. It was considered British Columbia. So in part of that agreement, they actually went and traced his kids. So Little Show got recognition off the Road Cloud Road. And I say Little Show because they're not the true Little Show. In fact, Little Show, that ain't even his real name. It's Little Turtle. And his father's name was Big Turtle. But anyway, we're making our way back. We get called into Ohio, brought into Santa, and there were several different bands. And keep in mind, there weren't hundreds of us. We were literally wiped out. Just like when this reservation started, there was only 116, 117 people. You come in this room